I'm here. Hope everything is good. Let me kick this off. Hard Huddle in the house. Carlos Salamillo in the house. What up? Round of applause from a live studio audience. I'm tuning in, guys. I'm jumping on. What's up? Whoa. Hey, camera. Why are you looking over there? You can look this way instead. There you go. I've been doing a lot of recording, and I think I bumped that camera with my other camera. I recorded a channel trailer. I should be launching that later today. First of all, welcome back. This is the Stack Bitcoin show, and we are here. I forgot to charge my it sucks. I forgot to charge my tablet, so I won't be able to live stream on TikTok. Oh shoot. Oh well, we need to focus on this platform anyway. Okay, I'm gonna leave my tablet charging. Maybe we'll stream on TikTok tomorrow. So today, it's 100% YouTube and YouTube only. So if you want to watch the show, come check it out. Hope everybody's having a good day. Man, what's up, Carl? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Carl in the house. I'm repping today, guys. Repping. That's right. Stack against the machine. Yeah, it's a good day. I've been kind of feeling a little bit in the dumps about the channel growth, you know, but man, after 2 years, it makes sense though, because I'm not making any kind of videos with the exception of the 2 interviews I made. I'm not making any videos that are like just edited videos. So I'm working on that in the background. You'll start seeing those come out soon, and hopefully that'll start driving more traffic towards the streams, and then we'll get more people in the lives. So actually, today's actually even a pretty good day. Having 4 people on, 2 likes, and guess what, boys? Guess what? We actually hit an all-time high on subscribers this morning. I think it was this morning. This morning, checking to double check and confirm that we are in fact at 372 subscribers. Let's go. Let's go. New all-time high. Very nice. As Bitcoin is making its way to its next all-time high. So super stoked. Super stoked. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Okay, let's kick the show off officially. Man, I'm excited. I'm working on the channel trailer video for this channel, talking about the Stack Bitcoin show, what it is. And I went back and I downloaded our first episode ever, the first episode of the Stack Sats show, which is how we started. And it's crazy to see the first time we used a spreadsheet. I'm gonna take a clip of the first time we used a spreadsheet, the first buy that we did, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Even like seeing like the segments or the different splash screens for the segments without the music in the background feels a little strange. We've done a lot of work. We've got the show kind of dialed in and the process and everything. So I'm super stoked on it. We are going to make the streams a little bit longer going forward, and it's because I see that I watch Pleb Underground, and Phil will jump on and he'll record his episodes, and he'll do it while he's doing it live. He basically he multitasks, right? He does a live stream, and he'll record whatever video he's going to record while he's doing it live. And then I see people come in, but I don't get the notifications until like maybe sometimes 10 minutes in. Or like sometimes even 15 minutes in before I see a notification that he's even on, right? So just based off of that idea, if I'm not seeing notifications on someone on a channel I'm subscribed to, and I have the notifications on for like 10 or 15 minutes, then there's definite lag there in the notifications going out. So we need to actually pad the beginning of these episodes with just commentary and just like interaction before we kick off the actual show, to give people time to kind of jump in. All right. So Carl, Hard Huddle, Carlos, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have any questions. Do put it in the comments. Any comments you want to make, anything, any funny suggestions you want to make, put it in there. I think since we have Boltar already built, the bullish Bitcoin fortune teller, the most bullish on Bitcoin fortune teller, we should ask Boltar some questions about the future, and just to kind of make things fun at the beginning of the show, and then we'll jump into the regularly scheduled segments shortly after that. But I want to give people time to tune in, maybe like 10 minutes to tune in. So instead of having you sit here looking at a timer, I'm going to be on here entertaining you or trying to anyway, with the aid of Boltar and other things. Okay. So let's get this thing going. Let's ask Boltar some questions. You too can ask Boltar questions. Again, Boltar is our resident what's it called? A resident bullish Bitcoin fortune teller. Here you go. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Let me get this here. Where is it? The back up here. I'll show you what it looks like. He is. I should have gone the other way. Going backwards. What? Is that in here? There he is. There he is. Boltar. Good morning, plebs. I am Boltar, the bullish on Bitcoin fortune teller. I'm in the chat. So Boltar's in the chat. All you gotta do to ask Boltar questions is type in !Boltar and then put space and whatever question you have. So I'm gonna do, for example, should I buy more Bitcoin today? Let's see. See what he says? It's in the comments. We'll go back to my face. Let's see what he says. Boltar, should I buy more Bitcoin today? Let's see what he says. Hopefully it's not broken. While that's cooking. That's yeah. We're 10 minutes into the show. So do me a favor, guys. Slap the like buttons if you haven't already. Tap the screen. And if you haven't subscribed, do me a favor, please subscribe. Let's kick things off. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's jump into the first segment of the show that we like to call the Bitcoin Strength. Today the price of Bitcoin is, oh, my browser's not set up. Today the price of Bitcoin is $107,799.84. $107,784.35. You can buy right here. Oh, right here. You can buy 972 Satoshis for a single dollar. That's insane. I'm looking at the price of Bitcoin when we started the show, and back then you could buy. Let me see. Hold on. I have it here. I have a clip that I'm looking at that I made while I'm making B-roll for the intro for the channel intro. Where is it? It is right here. Oh my gosh. I'm delaying too long. I don't see it. Anyway. It was like 3,750 Satoshis for a dollar, I think. It was crazy. It was nuts. Anyway, I'll have to, you'll just see it in the channel intro. But yeah, when we started the show, we're getting about 3,700 Satoshis for a single dollar. Now we're getting 928 Satoshis for a single dollar. That's crazy. It's crazy. What did Boltar say? Concentrate and ask again. Come on, Boltar. Boltar, sats or fiats. Don't trade, just stack sats. Oh, there we go. Nice. All right. Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day that penny can buy you about 9 Satoshis for a single penny. This thing is broken, I think. That's broken. But anyway, we know that it's going to take 9 Satoshis to buy. Sorry, it's like 1 penny to buy about 9 Satoshis right now. Okay. When you look at the price of Bitcoin and you see that at $107,000, don't be afraid. Just realize and understand that just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. And why is that important? Well, it's important because it helps you to understand that you don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once. You can buy fractions of a Bitcoin, and those fractions are called Satoshis. And right now you can buy 928 fractions of the Bitcoin for a dollar. So it's pretty cheap, right? And the best part about that is you don't have to have the whole Bitcoin to reap the benefits of saving in Bitcoin, which is pretty dang sweet. Pretty dang sweet. Okay, so you can save $1, $10, $100, $1,000, $1 million, whatever you feel comfortable with. As your knowledge of Bitcoin continues to increase, you become more confident in it, and you start to realize that, hey, every time I spend money, I should compare it to the benefit or the opportunity loss of not having Bitcoin instead. And when you're at that point, you realize that it's not about saving 1 or 2% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. No. It's about only keeping as much cash, as much dollars, as much euros, as many pesos as you feel comfortable with getting debased on, because debasement is happening constantly and consistently, relentlessly, with or without your permission. Okay, mostly without your permission, because nobody wants to be debased. But there it is on the screen, plain and simple, to the point. We're $37 trillion in debt now in the United States. The rate of interest on this is causing us to pay an additional $1 trillion. I think it's every month now or every quarter, I forget. Still, whether it's a month or a quarter, who cares? You're still adding $1 trillion of debt to the national debt just in interest. Okay, would you lend money to a friend or family member that had a job that wasn't making enough income, that had a job but wasn't making enough income to cover just the cost of the interest on their loan? Would you loan that person money? When you hold the value of your savings in dollars, that's exactly what you're doing. You're lending the government your money in a way by letting them debase you. Okay, so don't do that. How do you fix it? Plain and simple, to the point. You take the value that you worked so hard for. You take the value that you traded your hours of your life on this planet for, and you convert it to the most pristine asset you can own, and that is Bitcoin. And you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once. You can buy fractions of a Bitcoin. Okay, so I don't want to hear any excuses. This is the lowest barrier to entry into the best asset you could be holding. And I said asset. Okay, asset is what I said. All right. Pipeline Podcast in the house. What up? Round of applause from the live studio audience for Pipeline Podcast. Do me a favor, Pipeline, and everybody else that's in the chat, in the watching the live stream. Hit that like button, guys. Tap those hearts, taps the little faces, whatever. I need some interactions so that YouTube gets the picture and realizes that we're on here struggling, but making good content, good pure Bitcoin signal. We don't trade Bitcoin. We don't hold Bitcoin in a yield account on some weird website that will probably end up bugging us anyway, right? We don't buy ETFs. We don't buy NFTs. We don't buy runes. We don't buy whatever they're called, any other coins, altcoins, right? And we don't buy Satcoin, especially. Okay, we buy Bitcoin, BTC. Satcoin is not Bitcoin. Okay. They try to trick you by calling it Satcoin and making you think that it's Sats. It's not. We talk about Satoshis, but Satoshis are still BTC ticker. Okay, so 0.0001 BTC is 1,000 Satoshis. Okay, sorry for 3 zeros and then 1. Anyway, keeping the show rolling. Sorry, I'm kind of like going stream of consciousness here. All right, cool. All right, so that is the Bitcoin Strength, a long edition. Let's jump into the next topic of the show. Of course, that is why we stack. And we kind of got into it already in a way, right? Didn't we? Why do we stack? I mean, let's go back to that visual there, right? Will you lend money to a friend that is, or a friend or family member that is in debt to their eyeballs and their income can't even cover the interest on their debt? I mean, you could do it out of the kindness of your heart, because you love them and they're your family or they're your friend. But would you do it for the government? Because that's what you're doing when you hold your savings in dollars. Okay, you're letting them debase you. Okay, how does that work? Well, they expand the money supply just by letting the debt go up as they're doing here, and just always increasing the debt limit. They're guaranteeing that there will be at least $37 trillion in existence. And as that number continues to go up, it guarantees that the money supply will continue to expand, because you need to make that money to pay back that loan. But how are you going to pay back that loan, right? If you need to make more money to pay back that, if you need to create more money to pay back that loan, and every time you create money to pay back that loan, the purchasing power of that money goes down. So you need more of that same money to pay back that loan. Right? And you're just like collateral. Your savings are just collateral. Your savings are just like, oh, who cares? They don't care. You saved $1 million. You thought you were going to retire last year, whatever. You saved $2 million. Well, at the rate of inflation, you're losing purchasing power on that money by not being in Bitcoin at about, 50% year over year. Okay. So if you want to look at it from just strictly from the dollar perspective, you're basically losing about 10% purchasing power year over year. So the real rate of inflation is about 9 or 10%. Okay. So when that happens, your calculations to retire by a certain day or to save up for something that is a big purchase gets reset, gets constantly pushed away from you because the money you're saving in can't buy as many things, right? And the thing that you're buying is going up in price because inflation is affecting it too, right? So you're getting shafted on both ends. And on top of that, let's add the third shaft, right? Your job is not giving you a 10% raise every year, right? So you're earning the same amount of money year over year, and you're not getting a true inflation adjustment, which should be 10%. You're getting like a 2 or 3%, maybe 4% raise year over year at your job, right? If you're staying. And the price of what you're saving for is going up because of inflation. The purchasing power of the dollars you're currently saved is going down because of inflation. So what do? You'll never be able to afford the big ticket items that you want in your life. For example, maybe you want to buy a house or like a nice car, right? Some people can't even afford that. Some people at this point, at this stage in the game, some people can't even afford fast food. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's talk about that for a little bit. You can't even afford fast food. People are going on these apps and doing buy now, pay later for takeout, for lunch, for dinner, right? It's like part of it is like, well, man, you need to check your life and learn how to cook at home, right? And part of it's like, man, it's like, I don't know, maybe they just want to feel that one thing that is like a perk, like treating themselves, right? Because they realize they're not going to be able to work their way out of their debt, right? And that's tragic. It's sad, and a lot of people don't know that there is. A lot of people, first of all, don't even understand that is the problem. A lot of people don't even understand that inflation is a problem, right? That the money is the issue, right? On top of that, let's say they do figure it out, and they don't get super depressed, and they start to look for a solution, right? They'll eventually come to Bitcoin, right? But that process takes a long time, right? And some people never get to that process. Some people never even get to the point where they understand the problem, right? They just been told that you got to work hard, and be a good worker and be a good wage worker or whatever, and they never have the opportunity to invest or grow their money because every other asset class it takes a lot of money to get started, right? That barrier to entry is pretty high, especially if you start talking about real estate. Start to own a house or your second house or like a rental property, right? It becomes expensive. Like the barrier to entry is too high. Okay, so that's why we save in Bitcoin. That's what we talk here on the show about saving in Bitcoin, because it's the best way to start building a real asset, right? You can start with as little as $5 a day, like we did here on the show. Now we're doing $20 a day, right? But that $10, $20 a day, $200 a week, $50 a week, whatever you can do, it goes from being like something like you would just throw away on a coffee or on a meal, right? To something that's actually an asset. Like you actually have something that's worth something. Like you're actually watching you're actually watching your wealth increase. Like that's super cool, right? And then you see that money you've saved is not only safe, it's not only still there and able to buy you the things that you wanted, right? But it's actually increased in purchasing power, and in a way it has done some work for you, depending how you would look at it, right? You either got paid more for the work you already did, or you worked more hours at the same rate you did before, right? Okay, so let's wrap this whole little segment up. Why we stack, okay? Elevator pitch. Why do we save in Bitcoin? We save in Bitcoin because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold a Bitcoin that represents those hours. That is why we stack. Woo! Okay, so gotta hype it up. Gotta hype it up, boys. Hype it up in the chat. Do me a favor, smack the like if you haven't already, and let's keep the interactions going, guys. Please do your chatting in the chat. Start a fight if you have to. I need more people fighting in here. Pipeline Podcast, what up, dude? He says, hey, Roman, I promise this relates to Bitcoin. Not that all religious here, but if I'm a Bible reader, and ever since my obsession with Bitcoin, my favorite scripture is Matthew 6:20. Rather store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and there thieves do not break in and steal. Earth being real estate, got it. And heaven being internet blockchain, got it. I guess you can see there. Like, to me, I'm not a religious guy, right? I was raised Catholic, but I don't practice, right? And I don't practice because I see there's a lot of manipulation that goes on with the Bible. I'm sorry to say that. So if we want to get controversial, let's get controversial. As long as you guys are chatting about it, chat it up. Let's get controversial, man. More people have been killed and murdered for the scripture, right, than anything else. Okay, so yes, there is some good being done because of the scriptures, but there's also a whole lot of bad that's already been done and is currently being done, right, by people finding ways to justify their questionable, immoral acts with scripture. Okay, so that's where I stand on that. Right, but I do get what you're saying there, like the parallel there. Yeah. Like you're holding your treasures in heaven, heaven being Bitcoin, whatever, the Bitcoin network, right? But it's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. It's just a freaking network. Okay, it's just technology. Okay, it's just I guess you could say it's a force. I guess you could say it's a force in nature. I guess it's real scarcity. You know, I don't know. But I don't get philosophical with it. I don't get religious with it, right? Don't get religious with your Bitcoin. That's what I recommend. I think I started to kind of go down that path, but then I realized, you know what? It's just a thing. It's just like a hammer, okay? I'm not going to go start a religion on a freaking hammer, okay? I'm not going to go bonk somebody over the head because they don't believe in hammers. Right? It's just a tool. Bitcoin is just a tool, okay? A tool that protects your savings from inflation, okay, and gives you sovereignty, gives you no third-party risk. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, yeah, it's awesome. It's one of the greatest. It's probably the best invention invention or discovery, or however you want to look at it, that humanity has ever has gotten. Right? It's definitely the best. It's definitely the best savings mechanism that humanity's ever seen. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. But if you guys want to argue about it, just go for it. I love it. But yeah, thanks for asking that question. It's good. I dig it. Okay, enough of the intermission time. Okay, let's jump into the next topic of the show. Of course, one of my favorites, because we get to show what we've been doing and that we can walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Let's jump into it. It's time for the Stack Recap, because we don't only talk about saving in Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually do it every weekday, boys, ladies and gentlemen of the stream. And here we go. In 2025, so far, we've set aside $4,120 for 0.04443305 Bitcoin. That Bitcoin is currently worth, oops, what? That Bitcoin is currently worth $4,785.50 for a gain of about 16.15% so far. And that's just in 2025. In 2024, we started from scratch on the spreadsheet to track it individually, just 2024. We set aside $7,345.47 and we accumulated 0.122422217 Bitcoin. Okay, that Bitcoin today is worth $13,185.03 for a gain of 79.5%. It's wild. It's cool. It's true. It's there in your face. Not in a mean way. But I'm happy about this. This is the proof of work. This is the proof of stacking, the proof of our DCA that we've been doing daily. So weekdays, okay? And of course, the big boy, the big dog, the full holdings for the show since the beginning of the show on May 22nd, 2023, where we saved so far $14,929.98, 2 years, 1 month, 3 days into this endeavor on our way to 1 Bitcoin. We've through that method, through the dollar cost average method, and through a bunch of other methods we've done here on the show, we are currently at 0.37766619 Bitcoin for a estimated for a USD value for a current USD value of $40,667.17. Are you not entertained? It's amazing. It's crazy to see that go from $14,929 to $29,501. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. All right. That is the stack recap. And we're going to follow up the stack recap by taking the question that Carlos Jaramillo just put into the chat. What up, Carlos? He said, oh yeah, how's the jiu-jitsu going? Man, it's been going pretty well. That is my old belt. That is my 4 stripes on my white belt. And I am currently a Atos Jiu-Jitsu blue belt. Okay. Look up Atos Jiu-Jitsu, ATOS. One of the best schools for jiu-jitsu that you can go to. And they're in town, which is amazing, right? I'm like, well, once I committed to learning jiu-jitsu, I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the best school in town and I'm going to learn from the best. Even if I don't compete, even if I'm mediocre in that what do you call it? Studio or dojo, whatever, in that community. Even if I'm the guy that gets beat up all the time, but maybe can get some of the guys every once in a while. At the level that these guys are at, being mediocre in that group is pretty good in any other school, right? Or in most schools. Anyway, I don't want to throw shade like that. No, I don't want to throw shade like that. I'm just saying that it is a good place to be, and yeah, it's one of the best places to learn jiu-jitsu here in San Diego, and it's so crazy to walk around the studio and see all the people that are the instructors there. They're like the top of the top in the different weight classes and divisions and ranks. It's super cool, right? So to be able to call myself an Atos blue belt, it's like beyond where I thought I was gonna get already, right? I've been through broken hand, broken ribs, fractured ribs, pulled intercostals. I already got broken hand, broken finger, a bunch of stuff. Right? My medical list is longer than my stripe list on this belt. But it's made me tougher. It's made me a more sturdy guy, and it's made me, dare I say, a little bit more dangerous. Okay, which is good. Which is a little bit more of self-sovereignty, right? It's pretty cool. Anyway, love jiu-jitsu. Still doing it. It's such a cool experience. If you haven't tried it, try it. Super fun. You should take up. Carl says I should take up fishing. It's easier on the body. I know, Carl. I know. Carl's joking because that's how we met, through my fishing content. I still fish every once in a while, but right now, besides jiu-jitsu, I've been doing a lot of boogie boarding with the fam. The kids love boogie boarding. I love boogie boarding. And last year was our first foray into taking boogie boarding, I would say, like medium serious, right? We got boogie boards. I mean, they have the Costco specials. I got myself a nice boogie board, and my wetsuit that I've had for my wetsuits. I've had my wetsuits since before I met my wife. That's like a long time ago. Anyway, that wetsuit has like paid its way through college and everything because it's so old. I think I bought that wetsuit in, I don't know, I want to say like 2002 2002 or 2003. That wetsuit is so old, but I mean, it's still warm enough, and it's still, the zipper still works. It's a Billabong. Anyway, sorry, I'm so sidetracked, right, guys? But like, anyway, so that's the other thing we're into right now is boogie boarding. It's super fun. The waves are unlimited, and we don't even have to pay for parking. It's like free entertainment. In progress into lifting barbs. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, like getting strong is good. Making your body strong is good. You know, more muscle burns more calories. Just when you're at rest, and you're gonna make your bones more dense, which is good. It's good for you even when you get older. You're gonna be able to be prone to less prone to injuries when you get older, which is really good, and that'll help you be able to enjoy your Bitcoin. You know. ABW in the house, what up? Round of applause from the live studio audience for ABW. What's up, guys? We're doing a little bit of a long stream because we're trying to get the algorithm to wake up, and promote the show, because what I've been doing is I think I've been jumping onto the show and ending it a little too soon and not giving the algorithm time to do its thing, to go out there and let people know that we're live. So if you could do me a favor and spank the like button lightly and and tap the screen for hearts, do whatever you can. I love the chats happening here on the stream. It's super entertaining. It's super fun. Also, gives me some stuff to kind of riff on. So I dig it. Okay. Let me get the purchase screen queued up, and we'll do the purchase for today. I have to check if I am off the Strike naughty list yet. Let me check. Strike. Let me see if Strike has put me off the naughty list yet. Let's see. Because they told me I can't stack anymore until I give them money. Oh, we're back, baby. We're back. Guess who's back? What do I bench? I don't know. Like, I don't think I've ever done an actual bench test. Well, but you're asking Carlos. It's good. Do you do powerlifting too, Carl? Like, all that powerlifting stuff is really good for you. Okay, so since we're back on Strike, super stoked. Okay, so we're back on Strike. Let's do what we came to do, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price for 2025. So that means that today we're going to be buying a $20 stack. And now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some Bitcoin, baby. Yes, I lift heavy stuff and I put it back down. Nice. Based. In the Bitcoin world, that's considered based. Okay, it's pure signal, Carl. I see what you're doing. All right, we're jump onto the Strike app. I hit buy, and I press $20. There it is. We're buying $20 today on the Stack Bitcoin Show, episode 440. Episode 440 of the show. Wild. Okay, with Bitcoin at $107,000, $107,500. We're buying $20 worth of Bitcoin. Here we go. Cut the music. Drum roll, please. Stacking Bitcoin right now, live. Oops. There we go. Now we're stacking Bitcoin live during the show. $20 of the Bitcoin right now, coming up. And there it is. Just like that. Like magic. We've stacked an additional 18,391 Satoshis for the stack. We head on over to the spreadsheet. Oops. There it is. For 2025. Today is, of course, 6/25/25. And the price of Bitcoin we deserve today is $107,700 $1,270.10 Bitcoin. That's a lot of sevens. That's 3 sevens. That's lucky, isn't it? 3 sevens. We're in luck. That means that Bitcoin's gonna pump. Not financial advice. Those $20 got us 0.00018,391 Bitcoin. All right, just like that. That's 18,391 Satoshis added to the stack for 2025, and now we're gonna add it to the stack for the whole show. I want to figure out a different way to say that, guys. Help me out. What's a better way of saying of describing this spreadsheet? The spreadsheet that has all the purchases for the show. Would it be the cumulative spreadsheet for the show? The full spreadsheet for the show? I don't know. I just want to figure out a way to say it a little bit cleaner. What do you think? Adding the data here. There is, boom. Added the 18,391 Satoshis to the stack, and going back to the very top to see the legacy sheet of all the purchases we've done since May 22nd, 2023. Why is that one like that? I don't want that 20 there. Okay. Is 0.3778510 Bitcoin, and that is that. The strategic Bitcoin reserve. Oh my gosh. Bro. That is hilarious. We're doing that. We're doing that right now, amigos. Let's see. We're renaming this tab. Hopefully it doesn't break all my formulas, but who cares? If it breaks the formulas, it's worth it. The strategic Bitcoin reserve is in place. I love it. That's so good. The strategic Bitcoin reserve. Okay. Pipeline Podcast says, hot take. I think taking into consideration population growth isn't linear. I think the next 100 years, multiple more millionaires will be created from Bitcoin than in the entire past of human history. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair statement, right? But the question is, to follow up your statement, your hot take is this. Wait, what will it mean to be a millionaire in 100 years? Will that mean that you can buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks? Right? Will that mean, like, how much will a cup, if we have Starbucks, if we have those institutions still, right? How much will it cost in 100 years? Right? I'm sure there's a way to figure it out. If we could, to estimate it, right? You're already a millionaire in Argentinian pesos. Boom! Carlos Jaramillo gets it. I mean, y'all get it, but that's a good one. That was a good one, Carlos. Shout out, dude. Bien hecho. That's good. Dang. Yeah, it's true. So, I wonder what a million Argentinian pesos buys right now. Are they still hyperinflating? I stopped paying attention after the guy got after their election, so I'm not sure what's going on over there. But yeah, wild. I wonder how many Satoshis a cup of coffee will cost, right? Or even better, I wonder how many fractions of a Satoshi a cup of coffee will cost in 100 years, right? In 140 years, or 136 years, something like that. 136 or 140 years. I forget off the top of my head. The reward for mining Bitcoin is going to be 1 Satoshi. Okay. And if right now the reward for mining the block of Bitcoin every 10 minutes is about 3.125 Bitcoin, right? That's how much? Let's see. 3.125 times $107,000. Bitcoin. Right now, the reward for mining one block every 10 minutes is $334,375 about. Okay. So that means that in the future, one Satoshi in 140 years, one Satoshi should be worth about the equivalent of this today, right? In order to justify the mining, right? So I might be off. I might be off. You guys let me know. Some of you guys that are more experienced with the mining and all that good stuff, right? But still, the value of one Satoshi is still going to be a lot more than it is now, because right now it's not even a penny, right? It's not even a penny. It takes 9 Satoshis to make a cent, to make a penny, right? So think of that growth, right? Think of that growth. To make the value of a Satoshi go from 0.001 dollars to $334,375. Right? Am I off there? Is the analogy weird? I think I nailed it. I'm not sure. Right? But so yeah, it's crazy, right? And you don't even have to get to year 140 to start to see those benefits, or to start to see that thing, right? Because it's not going to happen all at once at year 140. No, it's going to be happening all the way up into the year 140 and continue on. So 2140, right? 2140. It's going to continue on, right? But probably where we will see the biggest growth as Bitcoin starts to take and remove some of the value, some of the things, some of the ways that other people are storing. It starts to demonetize some of the things that historically we've been using as money, like real estate and art and gold and stocks and bonds, right? The reason people save in that stuff is because they subconsciously realize that saving in cash is not worth, right? They realize it's not a good way to save. So they've been monetizing all these other asset classes to conserve the value of their savings, right? Even if they don't know exactly why they're doing it, they realize that they have to invest their money to make it grow, because they don't know why they have to make it grow, but they understand that if it doesn't grow, they're going to fall behind, right? Because they don't understand inflation, right? So as more people start to understand that and realize that Bitcoin's like, okay, it's not as scary anymore, right? It's not rat poison, as people say, right? Then more and more people start to feel more comfortable with it. And now, as institutions are even saving in it or investing in it, right? It's legitimate, right? It's legit. It's too legit to quit, if you guys know what I'm saying, right? If you guys are familiar with the legendary MC Hammer. How many of you guys were out there dancing with those big pants? Let me know. Don't lie. Don't lie. Did you have the big baggy pants? Do you think milestones are on their way in? Milestones. Millstones are on their way in. Oh, like millisats? I think it probably said millisats. Yeah. Millisats. Yeah. I think we will have to denominate in that. I think BTC Treasury companies will create next bear market. BTC Treasury companies. You think BTC Treasury companies will create next bear market? Oh, you think they'll panic and sell, Carlos? BTC Treasury. Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe they're buying, like not actually buying the Bitcoin, like paper Bitcoin. I think the next shoe to drop, guys, I think the next big shoe to drop, and this is just me basing it off of nothing but observation, no actual inside information or anything like that. I just feel like the next shoe to drop, the next paper Bitcoin shoe to drop is going to be something like Coinbase, possibly. You know, or like they've been selling Bitcoin and people have been keeping it on the exchange thinking like, whatever, it's Coinbase, it'll never go down, and they're working with the government, so we're cool, right? And you never took your coins off of Coinbase and you think you're okay. When that hits the fan, it's gonna be tragic. It'll be like an FTX event, and there'll be cheap sats available for us, right? Yeah, paper Bitcoin, yeah, exactly. Hard hodl, right? Man, I don't know, right? But it just feels a little too, And then what sucks is that a lot of those ETF companies are holding their stack with Coinbase, right? And so, as more banks that are more well established with those investment companies come to the realization that Bitcoin is the way, and they start to offer services, including custodying of Bitcoin, then what I'm afraid would happen is, for example, let's just say like a big bank that's been in cahoots with all these investment companies for the past 50 years, 100 years, decides that they're going to start custodying Bitcoin now, and they want to reach out to their existing customers and say, you know what, like, you don't have to hold your stuff at Coinbase anymore. Why don't you transfer over to us? We'll custody it for you. We're not doing anything else. We're only doing Bitcoin, and BlackRock or whatever Fidelity decides to say, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's transfer our Bitcoin holdings to this bank, and they go to Coinbase and knock on the door, and they're like, hey, we're going to switch banks. We're going to switch custodian, and we need a Bitcoin. And then if Coinbase doesn't have it, if they've been selling paper Bitcoin to these ETFs, that's going to be crazy. Okay, Carlos said, let's see. Carlos, I think you're right. The price of Bitcoin will fall for some reason, and the shareholders of these companies will panic. I think that's about right. Carlos says, I think they will be over leveraged, and won't be able to serve their debt. Yep. Austrian business cycle implies that as they are only getting in debt without value creation, they will break. Exactly. Bringing it all back and around to wrap up this episode, since we did dip our toe a little bit into religion, right? And let's justify this. Let's bring it all together, boys. Let's bring it all together. Here we go. And I forget who said this, but it goes like this: capitalism without bankruptcy is like Christianity without hell. Okay, and that's a pretty awesome statement, because just like they're doing now, they're playing fiat games. They're over leveraging their assets, right? And gonna get themselves into debt that they can't afford to pay back, right? And then they're gonna want a bailout from the government, right? And the government can't print Bitcoin the way they can print cash, right? Maybe they'll point the money printer at Bitcoin and buy a bunch of Bitcoin to try to recoup, right? But that'll just basically make the dollar worthless eventually, right? So yeah, Bitcoin is gonna force them to stop playing fiat games, which is crazy. Hard Hodl says, I think they will attack self-custody wallets again, like Wallet of Satoshi. Yeah, that's definitely a risk right there too. Hard Hodl, for sure. At least Mahlers tried and say they will do education, but that's too subjective. Yeah, it's wild. Anyway, we'll see what happens. All I know is that as long as you have your Bitcoin in your custody, you should be fine. Even if they attack self-custody wallets, it's too expensive to go through, track down individuals' Bitcoin holdings. I think individuals' Bitcoin wallets. It seems like it's more likely that they'll attack a centralized honeypot large amount of Bitcoin, right? Because it makes more sense that way. If they attack, like, for example, even again Coinbase, right? If they attack them to confiscate their Bitcoin, It's more cost effective than trying to go out after individual little stackers here and there. You know, it's like too distributed, right? Crazy time. That was cool. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let's wrap this baby up. Kicking on the music to wrap up this episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. Do me a favor, guys, before you go, hit that like button. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hard Huddle in the house. Carlos Jaramillo, ABW. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you in here. Also, Pipeline Podcast, Carl Black. And did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Bye, guys.